Peace and greetings, everyone. Divinezil here with another PCB review. Today we're going to be looking at an upgrade. We have made another variation of the CypherBox. This is, as you can see, CypherBox Mini. So I'm just going to do a quick little walkthrough. This video will just be an introduction. And then the next video will show the final product of the CypherBox Mini. But for now, we're just going to walk through some of my design considerations and thought process from how we came from some breadboards to ordering an awesome PCB through PCBWay.com. And I want to give a big thanks to them for being really patient, kind, considerate, walking me through the process and really allowing me to bring hopefully a whole line of awesome products and a lot more awesome things to come. So let's take a closer look what we got going on here. So main thing I wanted to do was make this much smaller. So as you could see, we've pretty much made it 50% smaller, which is really awesome. We've replaced the Esp32 32D, which is pretty big, with the Esp32 C3 SuperMini. So this is pretty straightforward. I maxed out the pins on the ESP-C3 Mini. So the first thing is the trusty SSD 1306 screen. I highly recommend these screens. I use them in a lot of my projects. The only thing you gotta make sure is they have two variations. One is VCC ground and the other is ground VCC. So just make sure you get the right one, especially if you want to buy one of my PCBs or kits or something in the future. You could see here, I have the pins there so you don't get them mixed up. Because if you do mix these up, you can break your screen. Even though they're only $3, you don't want to mess that up. And as you can see, really nice screens. I really like the color, and there's two different types. Well, there's three different types. There's one that's all blue. There's one that's yellow and blue, and then there's one that's all white. But I've really been liking these yellow-blue ones because then you can, with your code, make a cool screen or cool menu. So moving to the next component, we have the GPS. This is the ATGM336H. It's pretty easy to find, and that's the thing with my projects. I want all the parts are easy to source, and there's really no part that is like really well known and popular that you should be able to find something for your project. And a lot of projects, they kind of they use obscure parts, or they're prototyping with something and that's what they went with. But that's what this GPS is right here, and it's really nice. It's pretty small. And you can also, I think, get the surface mount version. And then it has a connector if you wanted to switch up your antenna. But this is the antenna it comes with stock, and I'll have the links of all the stuff down below. And usually what I do is I'll just like, you know, tape it to the back or something. But I highly recommend these GPSs. This will be for the ward driver, which gets GPS coordinates, the Wi-Fi data, and Bluetooth data, and combines it onto a CSV file, so you can upload it to wiggle.net or analyze it later and do a lot of other cool stuff. So next we have 3 buttons. Pretty straightforward. Although I have moved onto these silicone buttons, and I'll put a link down below, but I like them a lot because they're super quiet and nice and soft. However, I do, if I am trying to get the clicky ones, I do recommend these ones. Nice and clicky. So next we have the SD card module, and highly recommend these two because it's probably the smallest SD card module you could get, and really reliable. And these are really cheap. You know, I buy them in packs of like 10 because I pretty much put them on any project I can. And yeah, once again, just nice and small, because some of them are kind of too big. So next we have the CC1101, and this is the radio module. So this is the radio module. It's a Sub-gHz radio module. So anything from the 300s megahertz to the 900s megahertz. This can manipulate, read, scan, even jam, replay. It's what people use to like replay, you know, car signals, like with the Flipper Zero. But because of the pin layout, it is also usable with the NRF 24L01 plus PA plus LNA. And that extra stuff is just, I think, power amplifier, low noise amplifier. But as you can see, this also can be plugged in. So if you get the kit, you know, this is originally designed for the CC1101, but you can also put in this as well. And this NRF is for 2.4 gigahertz frequencies. So it allows you to use this with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities. You know, like this is what's in a drone transceiver, the drone remote control. And the drone has its own receiver, so they can communicate. So these have a lot of different capabilities, and I have other things that also utilize this as well. So just some flexibility with this kit. It's really up to you how you want to use it. And then next we have the Esp32 C3 SuperMini. And I chose this because I obviously needed something smaller. But obviously I like the USB-C, and it's still pretty powerful. You know, it doesn't have many pins, but it does have enough. You know, enough to put on everything I had here. I would have liked to have an LED, and also I was trying to put infrared on here. And it would be cool. It would have been cool to have 2 slots for you know, the CC1 and also the NRF, but that's what the big one's gonna be. So, you know, for it being the mini version, it's pretty awesome because then you turn it over and there's one more really awesome feature. So we have the PN532, and this is from Electro House. So diving deeper into the RFID part, I kind of wanted that to be kind of a nice aspect. As you can see with the CypherBox 1.0, we have the MFRC 522 module, and this is I'd say tier 1. So it does MyFair 1K and a few other things, but you really can't scan too much with this. So depending on, you know, what your uses are and you know, how much you want to spend, you have that version. And then coming to tier 2, we have the 532, and this is good because it does MyFair 1K, 4K, and I think NFC 1 and 2. And that's what this CypherBox Mini will have. But then we move to Electro House's best module that they sell. And all these chips are from NXP. NXP does make their modules, like their dev boards, but they're really expensive. So it's up to other vendors to really provide for the market. Like there's a million clones of these, but electrohouse.com, or excuse me, elechouse.com, there's no O, is the main source to get these. Unfortunately, this is kind of expensive, which is why this would just be for a prototype. This was, I think, about $20, and they do have another $30 version. But some issues with this is that there's this 8-pin connector. So unless you solder this off, you really don't have too much flexibility. You know, if I wanted this on here, I'm gonna have to solder these wires in. So I do have a solution. I've made my own custom PN7160 module, which is much smaller. It's about 2 inches, and it only has really these surface mount components. And the most important part is that I have a pin layout similar to this one. And then also there's an external antenna, because these use the PCB antenna, all of these. So there's going to be external antenna similar to how this GPS has an external antenna, because there's a lot of really cool external antennas you can get that extend the range and make it more reliable. And it's open to the user for whatever applications you might be using it, because these antennas do not work in all environments. So you could have this module here and a 2-foot long antenna going to your actual device. So it's going to allow people to be a little bit more creative, and I'm excited to go through with PCBWay to have that full assembly done. And just go from there. You know, I want to put some out, have some people test them, and you know, we'll see if we will move forward with that. But yeah, that'll be a little bit later. But for now, the PN532 should be more than enough for most users, and allow you to scan and read and write. But the most important thing with this one is this has card host emulation. So you can do emulation of NFC tags and MyFair cards and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this version. So next, before I go and walk through how you can get your own PCB, or when I put these kits out, how you can go and make yours fast, easy, cheap. I think for the next version, I wanted to compact things a little bit more. You know, really, as long as this back stuff's pretty good, I think I'm going to rearrange just some things a little bit more. Really, like I said, the pins are kind of maxed out. So there's really not going to be too much more edits to the CypherBox Mini, which is nice because I feel like this is nice for a good prototype, but the final version the only differences will be in the RFID card. So it'll probably be 3 versions of the final version. So the user can choose which one they want, especially the, I guess, Pro version having the external antenna and currently one of the best RFID NFC modules you kind of can get. And with mine, you can't get right now. And for the big one, there's going to be definitely a lot of changes. This is a lot more capable because it has way more pins. So the RFID cards are going to be switched out. And then the buttons I'm going to keep, the SD card I'm going to keep. But of course, I'm going to have to add the CC10 and probably, if I have enough pins, the NRF 24. And also I'm going to try and also add the infrared. So if I have infrared, these 2 radio devices, the GPS, SD card, RFID, NeoPixel, and finalize all the software, we will be definitely in a very good position. All right, so once you download, let's say, my PCB file, and you have just really any PCB file, this is where you're going to go to quickly and accurately get an awesome PCB. And also, just because they're called PCBWay, they actually have tons of other things. Let's just look at a quick look. They have CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication. So especially talking about 3D printing, this is where I'm going to get my cases. And yes, even though I do have a 3D printer, you know, what if you need, 100, 1,000, 100 of 20 different cases, you have very specific parameters. This is just a sure bet way to make sure you get your project done exactly how it needs to, especially CNC milling. So there's a lot of interesting things, especially PCB assembly. This is what I mean when I am talking about getting my PN7160 module assembled. You can give them the PCB design and also the bill of materials, and very simply just get a quote, and they do everything. They send you sample pictures. If you need a test or do whatever, it's all good. So see, you just upload the Gerber file, BOM list, and Centroid file, and then you can just go from there. But for us, since you're just doing PCB, go and get a PCB prototype, put in the dimensions. Here, just put in some random stuff for now. Select your quantity, and then you just go to really the brain of your project. You can go and select different single pieces, different design panels. You can select the size, quantity, just where you select the layers, because some people might want a thicker board, some people might want a thinner board. But for me, I picked the double layer, so you can see what that looks like. Then you can select the material, thickness. A lot of these are on the defaults. So then here you have the solder mask. So you can select different colors. So here you can see I got the red, the blue. Here's a close-up of the purple. Here's a close-up of the black. And an interesting thing with the purple is that the lines on it, really sick. They come out really well. Just an FYI, it is a little bit more expensive. I think purple might be the most expensive one, but I think it came out the best. So then the silk screen is the lines and the lettering, but you know, most people usually get white. Although if you had you know, the black solder mask with the yellow silk screen, or even the red with the black, you know, you can mix it up, get creative. And then you just do some final settings. And then here they have the remove product number. So just to show you what that means. You can see the product number down there at the bottom, which isn't too bad. It honestly kind of looks like a, you know, barcode number of sorts. But I did have it removed on other ones. I think they say, yeah, it's an extra $1.50 to remove, but it's up to you. And then you can have some extra requests, which is really nice. Like here, I wanted to add some extra words on one of my projects. And they sent a little preview, and then you could confirm it. And then, yeah, they printed it all out. And then here, if you had any SMD stuff, or if you had any PCBs that needed assembly, you could click there. And then you'll go to calculate, and it'll give you a quote. And then you can see also here on the side, you know, just the pricing of just a quote and stuff. And also what's really awesome, if you really need things done quick, you know, you could get it done in 48 hours, 24 hours. Let's say you have a demo, or, you know, you have some pre-orders, or, you know, you have some deadlines. You really can get things done super quick. You can see here is the 25th right now, and you'll have your stuff delivered by the 1st. So these guys do not mess around. And yeah, you'll upload your files after you calculate, and you'll be good to go. Okay, that was a quick overview of the new PCB boards. Once again, thanks to my amazing friends at PCBWay.com for really coming through. You know, I know there's a lot of individuals and companies that could make your PCBs, but I really think, you know, the quality, the customer service, the quickness, like literally I could order a PCB, and in 5 to 6 days I can have a box of 100 of them ready to go. That's just really awesome, and just getting my ideas from my brain out into the world, especially interesting tools like these that are cybersecurity, educational tools, even gadgets and, you know, nerdy toys of sorts. I really think it's really gonna help and motivate a lot of people to do a lot of cool, awesome stuff, especially because a lot of the things I make are geared towards really improving, empowering, and educating individuals in impoverished and low-income communities. Like something like this, if you want to source your own parts and stuff, really only costs like $15 or something. You know, you don't need to spend $300 on Flipper Zero. And, you know, it's not just about one tool. You know, eventually, you know, you piece them together like Legos, and, you know, have a lot of other really cool, interesting things that really comes together full circle. You know, so, you know, you could come through with just like a little bag and have, you know, 6 or 5 gadgets that really can do some cool, awesome things. And then, you know, you could take it apart, tinker it, recode it. You know, I'm just giving you the software and the hardware to get things going. But hopefully it all makes sense. And thank you for watching. And stay tuned for a lot more updates and a lot more iterations. And eventually I'm gonna go through the full thing, walk you through the software. Eventually you're gonna be able to download it on GitHub. And yeah, let's go from there. Peace.